There are a lot of games available on various platforms for smartwatches, but playing a game on a smartwatch is an odd concept. Why would anyone want to play a game on such a small device with even smaller display? But I have found through trial and error that it can be a decently fun experience and a great time killer considering you pick the right game. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these games. The first one is called Cosmo Run, and it is a very simple game but with a very interesting gameplay. You can play it just by tapping on the display. The gameplay is very fast paced. So much so that it might just put you on the edge of your seat. Basically, you have to stay on the blue tiles, and every time you tap, the pointer turns, and in this way you make sure that it stays on the path. It is very fast paced and makes you want to keep playing to produce better results. You can earn stars as well and then use them to change the Cosmo trail with different colors and environments. Next one on the list is Lifeline. It's a pretty popular mobile game with 500k plus downloads on the Play Store and 73k reviews with overall rating of 4.6. It's basically an interactive branching story adventure that keeps you engrossed with what will happen after each decision you take. It is extremely easy to play on the watch as well and is equally exciting. The story revolves around an astronaut on board the starship Varia, which crashed on the moon. And so, Taylor, the astronaut, has reached out to anyone who will listen via a transmitter on his escape pod. And you are the person he has contacted. And now you have to help him with his situation through these action and question cards that appear, and with every decision you make, there is a relevant result. And that's how the storyline branches and develops. Once you start playing it, it totally engulfs you, and you might find yourself playing this in extended sessions at a time. This is a paid game and it will cost you around $3, but I think it's well worth the money. And then you can also play it offline, so that's an added bonus. Next we have Energy, another very popular game on the Play Store, but also works extremely well on the watches. It's basically an anti-stress loops game where you tap to rotate these different segments of a loop to put them all together. And as you progress further in the game, it keeps on getting challenging, but not so much to put you off from playing. You really have to put your mind to it to solve these loops. This game is downloadable as a standalone app on your Watch 4 and can be enjoyed offline as well. Next up we have single tap games. It basically consists of 4 more games that you can play inside it. And as the name suggests, it only requires tapping on the display. The first one is Simon, where you tap on the color that blinks. It is very fast and you have to keep a close eye on it. Then there is the Goat Escape, where you have to tap to move the goat around and help it clear the hurdles. And this one is actually better than the first one. Then there is Mini Soccer, where you have to navigate a soccer player around its opponents and help it make a goal. And finally we have Candyland, which is also an interesting one. You have to tap to link these candies to this bigger candy without hitting other candies. As you progress, it becomes faster and difficulty level also increases. Out of all the 4, my favorite one is Goat Escape and Candyland. Both of them keeps things fast and exciting. And finally, the last one is Math Games, which is basically a math trainer and helps you to train your brain in math problems. But it also makes for a very interesting game. You can add operations which include addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. You can also select the range of numbers that will appear in the equations, and then you are up against the timer to solve as many problems as you can. If you get the pro version, it will also unlock some more complicated equations, but this basic version has been doing just fine for me.